This is going to be a little different kind of guitar video. I hope you like it. If so, make sure you give it a thumbs up and a comment at the end of this video. I just got back from the mailbox with this huge package right here. I think I know what it is. My wife said she saw me looking at this online last week, and then when I wasn't looking, she went back and purchased it. So I think I know what it is. And this is my Father's Day gift, so that's why I'm going to record this. So let's open this thing up and see what we got. It's like Christmas morning, people. I think this is the bottom, so I'm going to flip it over. Shake it first, see if I can tell what it is. Okay, here we go. Yes. It's what I thought it was. It's a, see if you can see it. It's a Telecaster style guitar kit. Well, let's take it out and see how it looks. Awesome, very nice. I really can't wait to put a very cool, unique finish on this thing. Very cool. Here is the neck. Let's see how that looks. Well, it's maple. Rosewood fretboard. Happy about that. I do like this one also with the black pickguard. Very nice. Neck actually looks to be straight. Very cool. Set that over there. We have our pickup wiring diagram right there. And a big bag of goodies. Well, let's see what's in the bag. Well, first we have our bridge pickup here. Has the little Telecaster ashtray style pickup, I think. Close enough. It's got the one with the 3 saddles. I like that. Okay, there's the bridge pickup. We have the volume and tone plate. Now what's cool about this one is there's, let me come a little closer. There's no soldering. It comes with these little plugs right here. So you just plug everything in with no soldering. But if that there is a ground wire, I'm sure I'm going to be soldering that to the bridge plate. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. We got some chrome tuners, which I may or may not use those. We'll see during the build. We have our neck plate right there. We have strap buttons right there. Those look like the screws for the bridge tailpiece right there. We have a cord with a couple Allen wrenches and a set of strings. Awesome! I can't wait to start on this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and finally my wife is making me do it. Man, hate when that happens. Well, let me think how I'm going to finish this thing, and we're going to get started on it. Now when I say we, I don't mean we, I mean me, and you can follow along and watch it on video. First of all, excuse the noisy chickens, and my air conditioner will probably pop on here in a minute and make some more noise. But what I'm going to do first with this Telecaster build here is take this pick guard off so I can work on the body. Now this is like a Telecaster copy, which I'll show you my real Fender Telecaster here. And what I want to do also is the Telecaster and the Stratocaster body is a little different right here. When you're playing, this is kind of pointy. It hits your arm right there. So what I'm going to do is kind of bevel this down a little bit like this, something like the Stratocaster body style that's right here. You'll see here on my Fender Telecaster, right here is where your arm goes, indention right here from your arm being on that corner. So I'm going to smooth that over like a Stratocaster body. So that's what I'm going to do first. Now another thing I want to do with the headstock, I kind of like the Telecaster style headstock, and because I didn't know I was getting this, or there's no plan involved in doing this, I don't have a template for the headstock. So what I'm going to do is lay this guitar neck under this one and kind of trace the headstock design onto here and then cut it out. Okay. Need a little quiet here doing a video. Jeez, chickens. What I'm going to attempt to do now is take this neck and put it under this neck and draw the Telecaster headstock design onto here. Okay, what I'm going to do is take a little towel here and just put over these frets so it doesn't scratch. Actually, we'll just use this. And put this under here. This is going to be kind of a hard angle to do this because I got to line up the nuts and all that. I'm going to put this just about like that. That's pretty darn close. And see if I could do this somehow accurately. Not bad. I'll line that up a little better when I do the cut. I'm going to take off this pick guard here. Looks like they have the wire already going through there, but I'm going to have to pull that out so I can finish the body. Okay. And that's what it looks like right there. Put that over here. Looks nice. There's not no dings or nicks in it. The grains look good. Looks good. Awesome. Now to do this, I had to clamp the guitar body on the other side of the table here, and I've got my trusty Shin-2 rasp, and I'm just going to kind of bevel that down as nice as I can, and we'll see how it comes out. I'm using the larger teeth on the Shin-2 rasp right now to get a little more material off, and then I'll switch to the smaller teeth. Look good. Around a little bit right here. This looks pretty good right there. I'm just going to kind of smooth this over, round this over a little bit right here, and then I'll smooth the whole thing out with the orbital sander. Nice and smooth. I will hit it again with some really fine sandpaper by hand before I put the finish on, but that looks pretty good. and it feels like it's going to be very comfortable playing. Awesome. Well, this is definitely the redneck way to cut out a headstock. Well, I have the neck clamped to the table. I have my little outline there of the Telecaster headstock. I got my trusty jigsaw, and if I mess up, you'll be the first to know. Now what I'm going to attempt to do here is go on the outer side of the line so I can then kind of shape it with the rasp and sanding or files, whatever I need to do to get it to look nice. So here we go. Wish me luck. Sorry I'm going to be in the camera's way right here, but here we go. I just realized it may be very hard to get up close here with the nut and the fretboard. Well, we'll see what happens. Well, that's about as far as I can go right there. I might have to finish the rest of that on the bandsaw or the coping saw, but I'm going to use the bandsaw. And I'm going to try to very carefully take that little extra little bit off right there with the bandsaw. There we go. Just trying now to get it a little more shaped according to the line that I have there from the original headstock. So we're just going to work it nice and slow with some files. And then we're going to put the sander on it and we'll get it all nicely shaped. It's looking pretty good. Need to go in a little bit right there, so we're going to take off a little bit extra with the rasp here. It's looking pretty good. It'll be a little more round right there. Use a rasp and use a file. I'll smooth that out with a sander. It all looks pretty good right here, a little bit more. Alright, let's take a look, see what we made. Not bad. Once I clean that up, it'll look just like a Telecaster. Now here's the little piece of maple I cut off the headstock right there. Now you think I'm going to throw that away? You know me better than that. That's going to make at least 2 floating bridges for cigar box guitars. Yeah. Well, I finished shaping the headstock. I think it came out really good. I'm very happy with it. Looks just like a Telecaster. I did remove the nut, which was plastic. Now I do have a bone nut somewhere in my boxes of odds and ends. If I can't find it, well, it looks like we'll be going with plastic for now. I think the look I'm going to go for with this guitar is kind of like a rustic barnwood look. I kind of like the grain of the wood. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to try to distress the top a little bit. Now, if you didn't know it, before I started building cigar box guitars, I used to build farmhouse furniture, farmhouse tables and benches, and I made a lot of them. And I used to distress the tops of the farmhouse tables. And what I'm going to do now is show you a technique that I used to use on my tables on this guitar body. Have you ever seen an old piece of wood, maybe barn wood, or an old piece of furniture? It looks like it's got all those little tiny little wormholes in it, kind of gives it a cool effect. Well, I do that with this. Now this is just a board with a bunch of little sharp screws going through it, and I'm going to show you how I use this on this guitar body to give it a distressed rustic look. When doing this technique, you really got to plan where you want to put these little wormholes, because once you do it, well, you can't undo it. So I'm thinking somewhere right down here, a few here, and a few right across the top of there. So here's what I'm going to do. Just like that. A couple up there, maybe a few more down here. That'll do it. Now after the wormholes, just for fun, I took my little knife here and I cut some gouges in it. All barnwood's got gouges, man. Now after I sand the neck and the body real good, I'm gonna put a few coats of boiled linseed oil on it. Yeah. Well, I have the neck completely finished, and I put a couple coats of boiled linseed oil on it yesterday and let it dry. And I'm going to put a few more coats on it today, and this is what it looks like. Now I didn't stain the neck at all. This is just the natural maple look with the boiled linseed oil on it. I did put my barbed wire brand on it. I got to be careful, because one time I said bob wire and someone said, "Who's Bob Wire?" I told him, of course, Bob Wire's Barbara Wire's brother. Darn it. So I'm going to go ahead and put another coat of the boiled linseed oil on the neck and the back of the body right there. I put a few coats of the oil on here yesterday as well, and that's the color I got. I think it's beautiful. I didn't stain this at all either. That's just the color of the wood with the oil on it. Now I'm going to do the neck again and the guitar body backside. Now when applying this boiled linseed oil, I find it better to use a white lint-free rag if you have one. I don't, so I'm just using a white cotton t-shirt. I would stay away from colored t-shirts because I used black one time and I was getting little black lint all through the finish. Not good. Had to resand it off and re-put it on. So I'm going to use this white cotton t-shirt, boiled linseed oil, and we're going to add a few coats. Okay, here I go. I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I like to put it on pretty thick if I can. Now I wanted a nice natural looking finish on this guitar. I didn't want it to be like glossy or too shiny, so this linseed oil is perfect. Now it will get a little bit shiny once you get a bunch of coats on it. It will give it a little shine, but it won't be real glossy. It'll have like a natural look to it. So there's the back right there. Put a little bit on the neck. I'm gonna go light on the neck. So I've already put a few coats on it. Headstock on the other side. Looks good. Now, just let it dry. I usually let the boiled linseed oil dry on there for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll give it a once it's dry at that point, I'll give it a nice light sand with a really fine sandpaper, wipe it down again, and give it another really light coat. And just keep doing that until you get a nice finish on there, and then you're finished. Awesome. Now, while the neck and body are drying, let me show you what I've done to the hardware for this guitar. Now, all the hardware came chromed. It was all chromed. So what I've done was I took all the pickups out, well, this one anyway, and the saddles off, and I sanded the chrome down to this really cool, almost looks like a brass finish. I didn't do the saddle parts because I kind of wanted to keep that nice and shiny and smooth so the strings will slide through good. But there's the bridge plate. Here is the other plate here, the volume knob plate, and the jack plate. Sanded that all down, and the neck plate. So that's going to look real cool. I can't wait to put it together. I didn't really want anything shiny on the guitar. I wanted it to look rustic and, like I said, kind of like an old barnwood looking body and neck on it. And what I also have done, the tuners for this thing is chrome too, so I ordered a set of tuners that kind of match this color here. It's like an antique brass looking tuners, and they'll be in soon. In the meantime, I'll keep putting the finish on the body and the neck until I'm happy with it, and then I'm going to attach the neck and put all the hardware in it. We're going to see what it looks like. So I'm so excited that I can't hide it. Now, because I had to wait a few extra days for the tuners to arrive, it gave me a few extra days to put a few more coats of the boiled linseed oil on the neck and the body. And this is how they came out. They came out really nice. Has a very light, almost like a satin shine to it. And here's the body. I really like the way this came out. I am very happy with that. Well, here it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm out here doing this video because in the morning it's cooler. In the afternoon it's so hot you can't even stand it out here anymore during the summer. Yesterday it was so hot I watched a squirrel run across the yard and it just burst into flames. Yeah. By the time I got to it with the water hose, it was too late. Oh, that poor little fella. Well, this is what it's going to look like with the neck on. Neck pocket seems to be pretty tight. It'll look just like that. So what I'm going to do is flip this thing over like that. Make sure it's in there secure. Get my little neck plate, and we're going to screw it on. And I'm going to finish this off by hand. Just make sure these are very tight. Okay, and there we go. Looks good. Now, even though this thing does come with a wiring diagram, it looks pretty self-explanatory. Here is the neck pickup. It is black and white, and this over here, this plug over here is black and white for this pickup. This one's red and black, so that one would be plugged into the red and black plug right there. Your input jack, I'll just disconnect this and run it through the hole there. And then, where is it? Oh, the ground wire will come up right here to go right under the bridge. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is take off this plastic coating on this pick guard here. Almost looks like there's two plastic coatings. There is. There's two plastic coatings. Imagine that. Alright, I'm going to pull out both plastic coatings. Wow, it looks pretty nice underneath. Okay. And there's a little plastic cover on the lipstick pickup there. We're going to get that off. Okay. Now we're going to feed this pickup wire through here, which I guess comes out over there somewhere. Okay, it comes out right here. Then we have another hole in here for the bridge pickup. So I'm going to put that through this hole. Okay, there's the bridge pickup and the neck pickup. So the neck pickup is white and black. We're going to hook that to the white and black plug right here. This one is red and black. We're going to hook that one to the red and black plug right here. This is my output jack, which I'm going to feed through this hole here, and that will go right here. Awesome. I have attached the pick guard and the neck pickup. Now when I put this pick guard on, I kind of had to put it in like this way because it slides right under the fretboard there. And I attached that. I wired it all up. There was a ground wire from this volume and tone plate that I put back through here, and then up through the body right here. I did put a little piece of copper tape there, and there's the ground wire right there, and my bridge will fit, oops, wrong way, just like that, with the ground wire under there. Well, I'm going to continue to put all the screws in all of these, put everything together, and then we'll see how it looks. I think it looks awesome. I have to put this one saddle back on here. So I had to take it off to put the mounting screws in. I'm not going to worry about these yet. I will wait till I get the strings on to set the intonation on it. That's how it looks so far. I am really pleased with it. Well, I couldn't find the bone nut that I thought I had, so we're going to use this one for now, this plastic nut. Goes right there. What I'm going to do is just put a couple small drops of super glue just to stop it from moving around. Little drop there, little drop there. There's my air conditioner kicking on. Just let that sit a few minutes and that'll be good. Well, the tuners were delivered just a little while ago. I installed them, and this is what they look like. Kind of like an antique brass looking right there. And I'll give you a whole shot of the guitar now so you can see how it looks. Well, I think it came out beautiful. I really like the hardware. Now, if you remember, this did have chrome volume and tone knobs. I did change them to black. I think it looks amazing. Here are the strings that came with the kit. I don't know what gauge they are, but I was going to use some other ones. I have some Ernie Ball number 10s I was going to use, but I figured I'm going to go ahead and use these because I wanted to use as much of the kit as possible, everything other than the tuners. So I'm going to use these strings, and I'm going to tune it up, and we're going to see how it plays. Well, I had the guitar all strung up and got ready to tune it up and realized that the neck pickup that came with the guitar did not work. I even cut it off the little plug and tried a test wire directly onto the wires and plugged it in. The pickup was totally dead. So I contacted the company, and they said they could send me a new one, but it would take about 15 days, or they can refund some of the money enough to buy another pickup. So that's what I did. I had them refund the money, and I went ahead and bought this Wilkinson Nashville style pickup and put it right there. And plays and sounds great. And what I also had to do was I switched this plate here, the control plate. I had it backwards. I had the three-way switch up here when actually it goes down here, so I switched that back to how it's supposed to be according to a Telecaster, and I got it all strung up, and I'll let you take a close look at it. Sounds like somebody just laid an egg. Well, I think it's time to take this inside, plug it into my Fender amp, and see how it sounds. Okay, let's see how this thing sounds. I'm going through my Fender Champion 40 amp here on a clean channel, first of all, with a little delay. And let's try it first on the neck pickup. See how it sounds. Sounds good. Let's try it in the middle with the bridge and neck pickup. Now the bridge pickup. Here's the neck, middle position, and bridge position. Sounds good. Now let's try it with a little distortion on the amp. Now I'm on the neck pickup. Middle position. Yeah. Now let's try the bridge position. I'm pretty happy with the way this guitar came out, the way it looks, the way it sounds, the way it plays. Not too bad for what my wife paid for this. And what she paid for this as of the recording of this video was under $110. If you're interested in this kit, I'll leave a link to it down there in the description. If you're not a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? Just click that little button down there in the corner and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to ring the bell so they notify you every time I post a new video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and tell me what you think about this guitar build down there in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. And once again, I would like to thank my wife for this awesome Father's Day gift. Come to think of it, I've got a birthday coming up. From the backwoods, my name's Michael, and I'll see you in the next one.